Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Talk Kashrus, presented by the Kashrus Awareness Project in conjunction with Torah Anytime. Today I am privileged to be joined by Rabbi Yaakov Teichman, Rabbinic Coordinator at OK Kosher and a member of the ACO Post-Pesach Committee. Is that the right description?
Correct.
Okay. So today I'd like to discuss with you a very specific topic, and that is the topic of chometz gamur. We very often hear before Pesach, after Pesach, people who say, I sell chometz, but I don't sell chometz gamur. What is considered chometz gamur? And as a related question, when people do get rid of products before Pesach, as far as chometz shavel of a Pesach, what items do they have to get rid of, and what items may they mistakenly believe to be chometz when it's really not?
Okay, so chometz, everyone knows, is only from the 5 grains. 5 grains means wheat, barley, oats, spelt, and rye. If you have buckwheat, kasha, that's not chometz. You have rice, it's not chometz. Millet, none of these things are chometz. Has to be kept in mind what is actually chometz, only from the 5 grains. I'm not getting involved in the machlekes of what is included in wheat, and then you can go to the matzah bakeries and find out einkorn, not einkorn. That we'll leave on the side, but let's assume these 5 grains and whatever their subsidiary is exactly what's included in these 5 grains. Obviously, if you have the 5 grains and they're made into bread, cookies, cereal, spaghetti, all those things are 100% chometz gamur. In America, you have a lot of products, or anywhere you have a lot of products, and there are a lot of ingredients. You look at the ingredient panel, and you usually get cross-eyed after 2 lines, usually about 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. Most people can't even read them or understand what the ingredients are. So how much of these are chometz gamur? So we have to keep in mind, where are you located? If you're located in America, a lot of the vinegar that's coming, 99% of the vinegar in America is not coming chometz derived. It's coming from corn. If it's corn derived, so corn is kitnius. You don't have to sell kitnius. You can keep it. You don't have to sell it. Somebody's choished that maybe there's a little bit of chometz gamur in there. Fine. So you could sell al chash. Let's say you have a certain type of mustard, and in there it says barley extract. But it's I don't even know if barley extract exists in mustard, but let's just say.
Okay.
And it's the second-class ingredient. It's a taruvas chometz. Roiv of this for sure is going to be kitnius or innocuous l'gabe Pesach. There's no reason why somebody shouldn't be able to sell it. No reason you have, in Costco closet you may have many closed bottles of ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise.
We say ketchup, mayonnaise, even vinegar, even plain vinegar, which you're saying is predominantly
USA,
not made from grain.
Right. Not from 5
From
the
5 grains.
For corn is also grain.
Okay.
So not from the 5 grains, and you could assume that in America that's where it's made from. And therefore there's no reason not to sell it. You probably don't even have to sell it. You're not sure, so you could sell it. A lot of people sell kidneys, they want to be 100% sure. But chometz gamur, it definitely isn't. And you have to look at everything that you get. What's the percentage of it that's chometz, and what's the percentage of it that's not chometz? If you're going to have a roiv of kidneys, there's a big tzad that that's not considered chometz gamur. If you have, let's say, a lot of schnapps, as long as it's 51% corn, even though the other 49% might be from wheat or from rye or whatever it is, so it's not chometz gamur, and you could sell it.
I think this is an important conversation. And people, well-meaning people, very often before Pesach, they'll go to their fridge for sure, especially if it's open, they don't want to leave it over Pesach, that I understand, but they'll often go to their garage or their closet, wherever they store things, and they have closed bottles of ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, so on and so forth, condiments, and they see vinegar in the ingredient panel, and right away they panic and say, we have to get rid of it, and they throw it out. And really, as you're saying, it's not necessary. At worst, you could include it as part of your mechira. At best, it's not chometz at all. It might be kitnius, in which case you could just leave it, maybe cover it up so that people don't mistakenly use it on Pesach. But I think this is a very instructive conversation for people to know so that they could be aware of.
So let's say you have something like oatmeal, right? So quick oats, like people, they have oatmeal and they want to use it in their baking, whatever it is. So how are oats made? obviously they grow from the ground, but how are they processed? So they use water to cut them and to parboil them and whatever it is. Those are going to be chometz gamur.
That's chometz
Okay,
gamur,
so
right?
even if you get, usually you see beans or dry beans, you assume that nothing happened to it. Oats, even though it's dry and it's coming in a can, it touched water already.
Touch water,
It touched water in a serious way, and therefore it's going to be chometz gamur.
Right. So oatmeal is chometz. Obviously, like you said, bread products, pretzels, all bona fide. We'll call them bona fide chometz products. Another common topic, which may be a whole separate discussion, but I'll mention it here about people who don't sell chometz gamur, is schnapps, because schnapps is something that even people don't feel comfortable selling chometz, but they do sell schnapps. Why is that?
So there are one or two reasons. Either they want to sell because they don't want to be semach on the chir when it's a hefsed meruba, unless it's a hefsed meruba. And for schnapps, they consider hefsed meruba
More of an expensive item.
Expensive item. How they might have got it as a present, an expensive bottle, and they don't want to spill it out, or they don't have a neighbor to give it to. That's one reason. Another reason is that there are some shittas that hold that if it's only zeh ba'alma, that it's not considered chometz gamur. It doesn't mean that you can go and eat or drink it on Pesach. That's not what we're talking about. What I don't know is including chometz gamur the gabe the din of selling it over Pesach.
Very good. Thank you, Rabbi Taka.